Good morning, everyone. Today we embark on an enlightening journey that transcends the technicalities of innovation, delving into the realms of leadership, organizational culture, and strategic decision making. Our focus is on a pivotal concept, the acquisition of technology. The acquisition of technology encompasses far more than the mere purchase of software, the engagement of consultants, or investment in new machinery. It represents a strategic decision that profoundly shapes a company's competitive advantage, influences internal dynamics, and determines its trajectory for long-term growth. In our modern interconnected world, organizations are faced with crucial choices, determining the source of technology, orchestrating its seamless integration, and ensuring its acceptance by the individuals who will ultimately harness its capabilities. To begin, let us explore the distinction between inter-organizational and intra-organizational technology acquisition. When we speak of intra-organizational acquisition, we refer to technology that is developed, adapted, or transferred within the confines of the same organization. For instance, a company's research and development department may pioneer a novel manufacturing process, subsequently implementing it across its production facilities situated in various regions. This internal acquisition leverages existing teams, knowledge, and systems, fostering a cohesive approach. The advantage here lies in the organization's inherent understanding of its internal processes and culture. This often results in stronger alignment, fewer legal hurdles, and greater control over outcomes. However, this approach also confines the company to its own capabilities and may impede innovation if the internal knowledge base becomes outdated or remains too narrowly focused. Conversely, inter-organizational acquisition involves procuring technology from external sources through partnerships, licensing agreements, joint ventures, mergers and acquisitions, or strategic alliances. For example, a logistics company might acquire an artificial intelligence firm to enhance its predictive capabilities in delivery scheduling. This avenue can inject cutting-edge expertise and expedite innovation. Nevertheless, it also introduces risks, potential cultural mismatches, integration challenges, legal and intellectual property complexities, and even resistance from internal staff who may perceive the newcomers as a threat. How then do organizations decide between inter and intra-organizational acquisition? This decision hinges on several strategic considerations. 1. Speed versus control. Does the organization require the technology swiftly, or would it prefer to develop it according to its own specifications and pace? 2. Capability gap. Does the organization possess the in-house expertise necessary to develop the technology independently? 3. Cost and risk. Is it more cost effective to purchase the technology externally or to build it internally? 4. Cultural compatibility. Will the new technology and its creators seamlessly integrate into the existing organizational environment? Arriving at this decision demands a long-term perspective, focusing not solely on the technology itself, but also on how it aligns with the organization's mission, people, and processes. Now, let us turn our attention to the second major theme of today's lecture, structuring a culture conducive to embracing new technology. Technology, regardless of its sophistication, will falter if those tasked with utilizing it resist its implementation. This underscores the necessity of cultivating a culture that wholeheartedly embraces technological change. Culture transcends mere slogans adorning the walls. It embodies shared behaviors, attitudes, and expectations. So, how does one structure a culture that supports technology adoption? First and foremost, leadership commitment is paramount. Employees keenly observe the behavior of their leaders. If top management champions innovation, allocates resources to technological advancement, and communicates its significance, the rest of the team will naturally follow suit. Conversely, if leaders disregard technology, so too will the wider workforce. Secondly, nurturing a learning mindset is crucial. Technology often disrupts established roles and necessitates the acquisition of new skills. Organizations must promote continuous learning and upskilling, offer training programs, mentorship opportunities, and safe spaces for experimentation. Convey to employees that the process of trying, failing, and learning holds greater value than clinging to outdated practices. Thirdly, prioritize communication and inclusion. All too often, new technology is introduced into an organization without adequate explanation. This leads to anxiety, confusion, and resistance. Instead, involve employees early in the process. Inform them of the reasons behind the change, how it will benefit them, and the support they will receive. Transparency fosters trust. Fourth, recognize and reward early adopters. Celebrate those who lead the charge in utilizing the new system. This generates positive peer pressure and transforms the mindset from why do we have to do this to I want to be part of this. Finally, align systems and incentives with innovation goals. If employees continue to be rewarded for adhering to outdated methods, they will not embrace the new approach. Ensure that key performance indicators, performance reviews, and bonus structures reflect the evolving technological landscape. Creating a structured innovation culture is not an overnight endeavor. It demands persistence, emotional intelligence, and a clear message that embracing new technology is not optional, it is vital for survival. Now, let us shift our focus to our third and final topic for today, blending multi-organizational cultures. This becomes particularly significant in instances of mergers, acquisitions, or strategic partnerships, the typical avenues for inter-organizational technology acquisition. When two or more organizations unite, they bring with them not only assets and technology but also distinct cultures. These cultures may exhibit varying leadership styles, decision-making processes, communication norms, and even core values. One organization might be agile, informal, and driven by innovation, while the other may be hierarchical, conservative, and risk-averse. Unless these differences are acknowledged and managed, integration will falter, regardless of how advanced the technology may be. So how do we effectively blend these cultures? First, conduct cultural due diligence, akin to financial due diligence, prior to entering a partnership or acquisition. Analyze the culture of the other organization. What are their work habits, communication norms, and leadership expectations? Second, appoint cultural integration teams. These cross-functional groups are tasked with identifying potential clashes and building bridges. Their mission is not to homogenize everyone, but to discover common ground. Third, construct a shared vision. When organizations unite under a common purpose, such as launching a new product, penetrating a new market, or addressing a customer challenge, aligning values and priorities becomes more attainable. Fourth, invest in joint learning and team building activities. Facilitate collaboration, co-creation, and trust building among individuals from both organizations. When engineers from both sides collaborate on a prototype or when marketers co-design a campaign, cultural understanding deepens. Lastly, exercise patience and flexibility. Cultural integration is a gradual process. Avoid rushing it. Refrain from imposing one culture over another. Instead, cultivate a third culture, a hybrid that amalgamates the strengths of both. In conclusion, the acquisition of technology is not merely a technical exercise. It constitutes a human, cultural, and strategic process. Whether you are developing technology internally or collaborating externally, whether you are adopting new systems or merging with another firm, success hinges not solely on the technology acquired, but on how it is integrated into your people, your culture, and your long-term vision. Thank you for your attention. In our next lecture, we will delve into strategies for sustaining technological leadership through investment, renewal, and competitive intelligence.